Hello there, students. This is Dr. John Schrage, and if you're seeing this video, it means that you are enrolled in either Energy 301, Modeling Electrical Load and Yield, or you're in ATS 564, which is Statistical Meteorology. And I'm going to be your professor for these classes this semester. As you probably know, I'm one of the few professors at Creighton University who is only teaching online courses. I don't actually even live in Omaha. I live in Evansville, Indiana with my family. My wife is a dentist here, and we moved here a few years ago after about 12 years or so of teaching regular traditional courses at Creighton. I like teaching online courses. This is an interesting challenge. I live here with also our two boys. Xavier is 5 years old and he's in kindergarten now, and Gabriel is 2. What's this business about there being two unrelated course names and course numbers for this class? This has to do with the fact that these two courses, the energy course and the atmospheric science course, have always really been the same course. As long as those two courses have been taught, it's always been the same professor teaching that class to just two different groups of people: atmospheric scientists who were looking at it more from a statistical understanding of how to make predictions in meteorology, and then later from an energy perspective in terms of what is the impact of that on either predicting the electrical load or predicting the yield with like renewable resources like solar power and wind power. And this year, because we're a little shorthanded and so on, it made perfect sense to just literally combine these two courses, okay? In practice, it's always been the same professor who taught them. It was always the same semester. It was just two different groups. And they always were really just using the same books, and they were just doing slightly different problems. Why not really combine them? So you might be an atmospheric science major, or you might be an energy major, but you're really getting basically the same materials. The atmospheric science majors have slightly different goals associated with the class, goals in the sense of how the curriculum is developed. They'll probably do slightly different problems than the energy majors do, but it's going to be the same lectures, it's going to be the same book, and so on. And that explains also the story as to what's up with the book. I mean, if you didn't know that these two courses had been combined and had always really been the same material and so on, the title of the book, Statistical Methods of the Atmospheric Sciences, might look really strange from an energy perspective. This is because it always had been kind of the same course. Traditionally, the atmospheric science majors in ATS 564 were buying the book, and the book wasn't required for the Energy 301 students in the previous semesters, and that was always confusing, because on the one hand, the ATS majors had to buy a book that the energy majors didn't. On the other hand, when the energy majors had a question about the things in the lectures, they had no book to refer to. And so after talking to our colleagues around the university and learning what different policies were, the decision was, whether you're an energy major or you're an atmospheric science major, you need to buy the book this time. Okay? It just makes sense, especially with an online course, that you would have such a resource. Like most online courses at Creighton University, the university requires that this course have 8 modules. Modules is an online teaching term, something like unit. So there's like 8 units to this course. Each unit has ways that you are getting points towards your final grade in it. Every one of the 8 units has a discussion on it. This is an online discussion. That's a policy of Creighton University. Online courses have to have a discussion in each of the 8 modules. Some of the discussions that we'll be doing in this class are closer to a homework set. Okay, you're answering questions and that I pose in the discussion, and you get points for them. Some of them it is more like a, what is your opinion on this, or how do you know this, or where do you get good information about this, and so on. But you'll see that in each of the different modules. These discussions are, of course, in blue line, as is all the materials in this semester. And as part of the points that you get from these discussions, you respond to the posts of some of your classmates. So the way they all work is there's a deadline by which you submit your original post that you answer the questions I provide. And then a few days later, there's a deadline by which you have to have responded to at least 2 of your classmates. It has to be more than just, hey, great work, thanks. No, it needs to actually be advancing the discussion. Like, you need to be correcting a mistake the student made, or you need to be giving you another example, or in some way advancing the discussion. The discussions are not going to make or break anybody's grade in this semester, but they are an important source of points. In fact, added together, the discussions make 20% of your grade. Another 20% of your grade comes in this semester in the form of 4 quizzes. 4 of the 8 modules have a quiz at the end of them. These quizzes are in blue line. They're mostly multiple choice type questions, and they're not exactly designed to be something you get tremendously stressed about, but they will be a source of a total of 20% of your points over the course of the semester. The remaining 60% of your points come in the form of 4 different projects that you're going to be doing over the course of the semester. One of the things you're going to be learning how to do in this course is you're going to be learning how to work with a programming language. We're going to be using Octave in a Linux computing environment. We're going to be using a machine that's actually physically here in my office to connect to. And you're going to be writing little programs that do little statistical calculations, and then you'll be providing interpretation. You'll be working with very large data sets and so on. You'll have a total of 4 projects over the course of the semester, which add up to 60% of your grade. This is not the kind of online course where you just sort of work at your own pace. It is structured very much like a traditional course on campus. I mean, there are specific deadlines by which you need to have done each thing. Do not fall behind over the course of the semester. Rather, get things like the course schedule and the syllabus and so on from Blue Line and make sure that you stick to the schedule each day. Okay, I think that's about it. I'm looking forward to the semester. This is the first time I've taught this material, and so I am thinking that we're going to have a really good experience. At any given time, if there's something not going the way you think it should be going, or if you think something is not as effective as it should be, I love feedback, okay? I have a pretty thick skin if something isn't going right, and I'm pretty easy to make happy when you tell me something is going right. So any feedback that you have at any point will be appreciated. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm looking forward to a great semester. This has been Dr. John Schrage.